if you're new here, my name is Kaylee, and on this channel I cover all things true crime, travel, lifestyle, and just generalized vlogs. But you have stumbled across the Outlander section of our channel. Now, Outlander has been a very big passion of mine for a lot of years now. So I thought, what would be a better way to help with our Droughtlander than come up with Outlander inspired content every single week. Now, today's video is all about the villains of Outlander. Now, we all know that every show has villains, but I truly feel that the series of Outlander has produced some of the most horrendous villains known to novels, books, genres, any sort of TV or even a movie. I feel like Outlander has just hit it's ticked all of the boxes for most horrendous, vicious, nasty villains. And Dianna has done just such a fabulous job in creating these characters. It blows my mind how scary some of them are. So in today's video, I want to go through my top 5 Outlander villains. Now, this is mainly based on who we have met so far from the TV series. So if you are a book lover, I will probably do an updated version when we see who else sort of evolves into the TV series. We all know that the TV series and the book series is now very different in some aspects. So I'm going to reserve this video to be my top 5 villains from the TV series, from seasons 1 to 5 basically. And again, this is just my opinion. Everybody has different opinions on who's worst and what, what claims to fame these villains have, and, this was worse than this. How can you say that? So please remember, this is just my top 5. I would love to know who your top 5 villains are in the comments below. So if they are different to mine, please drop them down there and I would love to discuss that with you. So in 5th place, I have put the Duke of Sandringham. Now hear me out, guys. I know there might be a little bit of controversy with him making our top 5, but to me, the Duke of Sandringham, he really set the tone early on for the amount of evil little doings that he was able to do. Now, if you're not familiar with the Duke of Sandringham, or you need a bit of a reminder, he was an English aristocrat, and throughout history, he is noted all throughout the history books, all the way up to the point where when Frank and Reverend Wakefield are doing research, he is listed in history notes, obviously, and it's discovered that he has an alliance with Blackjack Randall. We also know that the Duke of Sandringham has an eye for younger men, and throughout history he sort of hits on Jamie and he hits on, this and that and this and that. So we don't know if his relationship with Blackjack Randall sort of went down that path, or if it was just an alliance throughout, being strategic. It's never really gone into, especially for the TV show, what it was, but it was definitely listed that they had an alliance. The ambush when Mary Hawkins is raped. Now, that was one of the things that really set the tone again, that the Duke of Sandringham, he had absolutely no limits to what he would go to. He was, in fact, the person that set up the ambush, and even though it was intended that Claire be the main sort of victim in that ambush, Mary Hawkins, who was his goddaughter, suffered the most injust in that whole situation. And yeah, that really did set the tone that he had absolutely no boundaries that he would ever cross in order to get what he wanted. I also wanted to list the Duke into the top 5 because he wasn't just a thug-like villain. He wasn't out there fighting. In fact, he sort of, he avoided all sort of physical confrontation. He got people to do his dirty work for him. Now, I really wanted to have someone in the top 5 that was of this stature, that didn't get their own hands dirty, but they definitely manipulated people and put people into the position to do his dirty work. But he really was just he was the villain behind the mask. He did all the dirty work. If you have not seen Outlander yet and you've just stumbled across this video, I highly suggest watching it. Spoiler alert for the Duke of Sandringham, he does get a very, let's say, beheading justice, thanks to our TV star Murtaugh.
You raped was sufficient revenge. You should really be very grateful. Easily be dead by now.
In fourth position, I have put Galas Duncan. Now, Galas is one of those characters that you sometimes love and sometimes hate. I know when she sacrificed herself basically for Claire at the witch trials, I thought, oh, she's, you know, she's just misjudged. She's, you know, I just haven't put the right emotions into this character. Later on, we discover, no, she's a horrible person. So basically, Galas is a full-time murderer. She has killed many people throughout her time. The fact that she is also a time traveler and has killed people in different centuries, you know, that has to put her into our top 5 category. There are not many characters in this show that have actually killed people in multiple centuries. Now, when Galas was in the future, let's say, she killed her husband in order to travel back through the stones. She was always under the assumption that to travel, you needed to have a human sacrifice. So her husband was one of her many victims. When she is back in the past, she kills her next husband, Arthur. You know, then she becomes the Baccarat, and just many young men are murdered, raped, tortured. She really does set the standard of time-traveling villains, and that's why she just had to feature in our top 5. I also very much appreciate a good timeline connection. So we know Claire is shown a decapitated body by Joe Abernathy. We discover that it was indeed Claire who decapitated Galas, and the body that was many years later produced with Joe Abernathy was in fact Galas.
Mistress of Satan!
But you can call me Galas.
A life for a life, sweet Claire.
Lionel Brown has made my top 3. Now, if you are a book-only reader of Outlander and you're not so much into the TV show, you might be asking yourself why I've listed Lionel so high. Now, if you are only a TV watcher and not a book reader, or vice versa, if you've only read the books and not watched the TV show, in the season with Lionel Brown, he sort of takes over a couple of people's characters. Now, in the book series, Lionel Brown does not actually sexually assault or rape Claire, but in the TV series, he is one of the people that does. So look, he needed to feature in our top 3 because this to me is based on TV series, and of course he's just horrendous. The whole character of Lionel is just rotten to the core. So he needed to feature in this. But if you are just a book fan, you might, you know, why is he ranked so high when there are a lot of other people out there in the book universe of Outlander that are horrendous? But yeah, so basically he attacks Claire, and just everything about Lionel Brown disgusts me, and he had to feature in my top 3. Now, Lionel Brown's departure is also different from books to TV series. In the books, he is killed by the character Mrs. Bug, who we have not yet sort of had much interaction with in the show, if any. But in the TV series, it's Marsley who kills Lionel. And, you know, either way, just deserved. He needed to go.
But you get when you get it.
I always do.
Want to watch your words?
I hardly think I need to worry about that now, do I? I prefer my supper with a smile, thank you very much. So when you're good and ready, if I'm not well treated, my brother, he will come with his men. He will slaughter you and burn the houses over your heads while you sleep.
In second position, I have put Stephen Bonnet. Now, we all know, book reader or TV fan, Stephen Bonnet is just a horrendous, horrible character. In a weird twist of fate, you first meet Stephen throughout the TV show when he's about to be hanged. He escapes through the commotion of life, and Jamie and Claire ultimately help him escape. He then goes on to rob Jamie and Claire. He then goes on to rape Brianna when she returns to the past. He's horrible. He's absolutely horrible. There was no way we could have a top 5 without him featuring in it. It just, hands down, everybody knew that this man was going to be in our top 5. And I mean, yeah. What else can you say about this character? What else can you say?
How many men have you killed in commission of your crimes, Mr. Bonnet? No, not trying to kill me first. He's a smuggler, he's lawless, and he has an ability to manipulate situations for his benefit.
Might I trouble you for conveyance?
Fine.
We'll deliver Mr. Bonnet to safety.
He always wants the better hand. It's always about what can I get out of this situation.
Travelers in these woods are often set upon by thieves and outlaws.
Stephen Bonnet, he is a psychopath.
Now, of course, the number one position. Was there any doubt in anybody's mind who the number one villain listed in this video would be? I don't think so. We all know that it is Blackjack Randall. Now, he embodies evil, Blackjack Randall. There's not a decent bone in this character's body, in my opinion. Yeah, it scares me that Dianna was able to create this character from her own thoughts. And I have watched many forums and many sort of Q&As with Dianna, and I love that people have asked her that. People have said to her, where did he come from, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, you're sitting next to Blackjack Randall. I am Blackjack Randall. I had created, and it's so true. This character has come from the mind of Dianna, and it's mesmerizing to me that she's been able to create so many diverse characters throughout this entire Outlander universe. I absolutely love it. She's such a talent. But anyway, that's not to the point. Blackjack is horrendous, and yeah, okay, so let's see. What has he done? He raped Fergus. He obviously raped and tortured Jamie, and the entire Wentworth, just that was horrendous. I know people that they will never watch that episode again. They watched it once, there's not a chance they will ever watch that episode again. It was one of the most horrific things they said they have ever seen. The attempted rape of Jenny was also, up there. He murdered people, he beats people. He's just an all-round horrible, horrible guy. Portrayed amazingly by Tobias Menzies, though. I mean, to be able to turn that on, I understand acting is their job and everything, that's what they do, but to be able to, turn into this monster and then turn back to your just normal self. Just fantastic job by Tobias Menzies in the portrayal of Blackjack Randall. So what upsets me the most about the whole character of Blackjack Randall is the fact that this character, his legacy goes through time as this sort of, commanding officer that, he's never really tarnished in a way that is written for public record. So throughout history, he's just this person that carries on and does good things or whatever. And yeah, okay, he might have had alliances with this guy and he might have done this with this guy, but there was never, he's not tarnished in a way that, Blackjack Randall should have been. So to me, the legacy that he was able to have throughout time is just as upsetting as the deeds he did. He was never, he's portrayed throughout time as this sort of, that sort of stuff angers me. I have a very big sort of, you should leave a good legacy for the next people to understand who you really are. And Blackjack, he was able to twist time even though he wasn't a time traveler and put his fake legacy out there for the future. And that annoys me. I understand why it happened, but it annoys me.
Do I make you uncomfortable? I haven't even begun.
So that concludes my top 5. I want to know, do you agree or do you disagree? Would you have put them in a different order? Is there somebody out there that is a fan of Outlander that would not list Blackjack Randall as number 1? I would love to know if there is a different number 1 out there. Because, I mean, some of the others, yeah, you could throw around in different orders. But I truly believe that there is not a single Outlander fan in the world that would not put Blackjack as number 1. If you have not hit that subscribe button, please consider hitting it down below. I am going to bring out a new Outlander video every single week. So I will see you, hopefully, in the next video. Bye!